Hey guys, it is Monday night, Sketchy Live.
Sketchy Live Monday. What's going on? Hopefully you've made it. You've made it to the fun live sketching show. I am Johnny Jalopy, hot rod artist, designer, goofball, sketch hack, whatever you want to call it. With me, as always, my beautiful wife. We've been doing this for quite some time. ity-B.
Quite some time, guys. Welcome to the broadcast tonight.
You would think by now we'd have all the bugs worked out.
Fun night tonight. Johnny and I have been talking a lot about, he's been educating me about Chevys and the evolution of the Chevy truck.
Well, really. You had asked me some questions about the Chevys, and it's been one of those vehicles that you've looked at and been in love with.
I have
since I first introduced you. I think you had a car background a little bit with your brothers and stuff like that, but I don't think on your own personal relationship with vehicles and your own opinions and that kind of stuff. So when I kind of introduced you to it, being with me and stuff, you like a sponge you are with new information and stuff like that. But I will say you've been drawn to this one specific type of vehicle, and we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. We're going to talk about maybe some possible merch update changes that we're going to do possibly. So maybe some changes to this. We're definitely going to do some possible conversations about paint schemes that we kind of talked about over the weekend for Kona. And much more. So hang out with us. Hopefully you'll have fun. We're going to draw a cool vehicle tonight. ity-B is going to basically design this thing tonight. She's going to give me her styling cues and the things that when she thinks about it. I'm going to try to pick her brain a little bit. And our new project may take a derailment and it may become the ity-B project. Who knows? We'll see what happens.
I would love it.
Yeah. So it's Sketchy Live Monday. You've hung out with us. Johnny Jalopy, ity-B.
See you in a minute.
Yeah.
And we're back.
C10s. or sorry, let that out of the bag. Similar in design, some of the front cues. But we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Hey, what's going on? It's Monday night, Sketchy Live Monday. You're hanging out with us. Lots to talk about tonight. Before we get into too much of that, I'd like to make a public apology.
Oh,
to you.
Why?
Well, last Monday, Sketchy Live Monday, we were drawing, having a good time, and so my birthday was last Monday. It was on Monday, but we celebrated it on the weekend, so it was on Monday night. And you did such amazing things for me that weekend, and not that you don't every weekend, but that weekend you really kind of
stepped it up a bit.
Well, no, you kind of let me be a little not selfish, but we did a lot of things I wanted to do, and not that that's not what we normally do, but you were like, hey, whatever you want to do this weekend, and we did a lot of car stuff, and we drove around in the bug, and we had a great time. And then Monday came, my birthday, and we did Sketchy Live, and I thought we were doing okay in the beginning of it, and then towards the end of it, kind of got a little heated, and I just want to publicly apologize. So we kind of talked a little bit about it, but it's been if I'm being honest, we've always been very honest on Sketchy Live, and we share our lives and stuff. And my birthday day was a little difficult because my mom's not here.
Yeah.
And so, I did the complete thing that my family does, and I that's why I'm apologizing, is in the times of where we're feeling a little hurt, but we're talking about something, rather than reaching out and say, hey, I'm just a little down right now, I lash out and try to divert and turn it into arguments. And it made me, as I've been going through the weekend stuff, I thought about, there was a lot of holidays and stuff. I remember when there was tension in the family, sometimes that kind of stuff would happen. And it would be, instead of sharing their feelings about things that they were going through or tough times or whatever, they kind of they would lash out at each other to divert them not feeling sad. It was easier to be angry than sad.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to say I'm sorry for getting a little tense when you were talking about my art and maybe possible, spaces to share that and do things. Because then, later on this week, you've talked about possible ideas of things we could do to make studio space and stuff, which was a lot of sacrifice on your part of giving up. And it made me, again, I reflected and thought about, here's me being frustrated. I don't have a place yet. You're immediately willing to give up your own space and stuff, which means, you're always trying to put me first. And I just want to say, I'm sorry for lashing out at you during that. But a lot of it was just, I really miss my mom. And I
know. And I didn't hold on to that at all.
Well, I just wanted to make sure, because, going back and looking at the podcast, so here we are, again, we're sharing publicly, and I got a little snippy and a little thing, and sometimes it's funny, but when I felt like I took a little more personal and was lashing out. So I just want to say I'm sorry that I did that, especially to everybody else too. And I'm sorry to you guys that you saw that too,
who witnessed the 10 minutes of uncomfortability.
Right. Yeah, uncomfortability, a Martha Stewart word. But I just want to say that, rather than sharing how I felt that night, which is probably what I should have done, I was trying not to bring it down like I'm doing right now. But I just wanted to share that. So I love you, and thank you so much for always opening opportunities for me to do my thing, and being so willing to support me in my dreams and passions.
I do. I just 100% want you to be who you are, and this is who you are, and I want to support every aspect of it, whatever you want to do, financially, room-wise.
And you've done that the whole time. So
we'll pick up and move to California.
Sketchy Live wouldn't be Sketchy Live if it wasn't for you. Just, again, the willingness to jump in and do this with me, and then now where you like to do it too. So I appreciate that. So
I enjoy it.
With that being said, tonight, ItyB, let's talk about your dream vehicle. And I know the 49, you're a realist like me. 49 Merc is really, truly the car that you most fell in love with when you saw it.
I did.
All the things that you love about it. Talk about what those things that you love about the Merc. And then we're going to talk about the actual, you were sharing tonight after dinner. We were talking about it.
Right. So with the Merc, I believe it was the 49 Merc, but it was not the original grill. It was a different grill. And I forget, you told me what it was from, and I can't remember. I want to say the grill that I like.
Yeah, I think it's off like a DeSoto, or it might even be an Oldsmobile or something like that. But you really like that traditional.
It was a custom 49 Merc, but I've seen it customized that way a lot of times.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people gravitate towards that grill.
It is the traditional way to customize it.
Yes, and I love it in black, but there was one that we saw that was purple. And I'm not a girly girl, and I don't really like color at all. But the way this one was done was so nice, and I really liked it. And of course, it was chopped and it was dropped. Like I think you said, it was probably on bags. It had
being it was a true traditional Merc. It was probably a static drop, or it might even have been old school hydraulics. But I'm going to bet it was a static, which means the suspension was modified to bring it down, but nothing. There's no manipulation, meaning air ride bags that would raise and lower, or hydraulics that would raise. It's a static drop, which means you're modifying the suspension for the car to sit lower.
And it drove that way though, because this thing was on the ground.
Oh yeah. Well, and again, that's what I'm saying. That one might have been, again, as traditionally as it was done. I almost want to say it probably wasn't airbagged, and it was probably done old school hydraulics. And
I don't know what the chop was on it back then. I didn't ask questions.
Probably dollar bill size chop on it. Was pretty severe.
It was severe.
Yeah, but gorgeous.
And it made it look like 5 feet longer than it really was.
For sure.
I loved it though. And it looked sinister. Even in the purple, it was like a darker purple, but it kind of had like a shimmer to it. I forget where we even saw this thing.
It was probably a pearlescent purple with a little bit of metallic in the roof, if I remember right. But you loved it.
I loved it. And
I wish we had pictures, but it was at the first time I took you to.
It was one of the first shows we went to.
Right. It was the Hot Rod Nationals, or
maybe at the fairgrounds.
Yeah, cruising. It wasn't Cruising Nationals.
No. NHRA.
NHRA. So yeah, Hot Rod.
And
but so it was, kind of a lot of the cars we were seeing at that point at the fairgrounds were very street rod of other vehicles other than the Mercs.
This was the first time that I may have seen it in the past, but it was never pointed out. It had the suicide doors where they opened the other way, which I thought was cool. And the shaved door handles, which I didn't know I'm like, how the hell are you getting in this thing?
Yeah, you were like, there was like all the normal functioning door pieces were all pulled off,
and it had the inset lights. What do you call them?
Frenched.
Yeah, Frenched. And then it was just so nice.
Yeah, you really fell in love with it.
And I'm like, you know what? Because at the time we had the 51 Chevy, we didn't, because this was before we got the 51 Chevy.
We had no vehicle.
And when we got the 51 Chevy, this was the stance of it and how it was lowered and chopped. That was your vision for Raquel when we first got it.
Right.
And I was like, I would totally do that.
If I was going to do a 50s Chevy, because that is my favorite year, the 50s. Well, 49 to 52 is my favorite year of the Chevy. And really, the Fleet line, if I had a choice of all the body styles, Fleet line would be my most favorite. I really love that swooping back end. And when those are chopped, they're difficult to chop. And then, of course, the business coupe or just the regular two-door car.
Well, that's how this Merc was done, because it came off the roof and just a gradual decline to nothingness. There was no trunk whatsoever. It seemed it was just all one piece.
The lines were done correctly.
Yeah, it was so nice. So that has always been my number one top
dream car.
Yeah. But I've always loved trucks, and I'm gonna split my screen here.
So as we're getting to this drawing, so let's talk about what. And again, we were talking about pickup trucks yesterday. Oh, before we do that, we're going to get into all that. Let's make sure we do what we always do.
Oh, we're going to say hi.
Who is here on Sketchy Live? And hopefully we got
some people.
Oh, good.
We've got Chongo NorCal joining us. Good evening.
What's up,
Chongo NorCal? One of your favorite names.
That's an early
he is. He was the first one in. Huh. We've got Lizzie Daughtry joining us. Hello, my two favorite people of the week.
Oh, of the week.
Troy Chartier, or is it Chartier?
Chartier.
Hello from Floral City. Welcome.
What's up?
Lizzie, of course, is giving us her Ms. Butterfree 34 YouTube channel. Go check her out for all resin, jewelry, and trinkets and such. She's got some stuff going on over there. We've got George Makeart. Is it Makeart? Every time.
You need to make yourself.
I'm just going to call him George. He's the glass man.
You need to make yourself a
cheat sheet. I know. I'm sorry, George. Butcher it every time. We've got Draco Cycles joining us. What's up?
Draco Cycles.
Draco's been sharing with me some of the projects he's been working on. Draco is
some cool stuff he's doing.
A really cool artist, and he does everything like miniature. He's
got a definitive eye for the tiny.
He does love it, and it's great. It comes out great. Okay. George is joining us on YouTube as well, streaming live, guys, Facebook and YouTube. So
the tubes.
Lizzie said I got a new banner for my wall.
Nice.
Very cool. Diane Kinnery joining us. Hi guys, looking forward to seeing what you are sketching tonight. We are doing
we're going to talk about. I'm trying not to show full boat.
I know. Well, and I don't want to come back to us. Right, I want people to see what you're doing.
That's what I'm saying. I can get a little bit of a head here before we even start talking about what we're talking about.
Troy, well, your head is in the way.
Oh,
yeah.
Is that what it's doing? Okay.
Your hat. So maybe scoot it over a little bit. Scoot your chair over a little bit.
Scoot myself over.
Troy hanging out.
I was trying to give a better angle of my hand and less over the top where you can't see some of the stuff I'm doing. So I'm trying.
You just don't want to bend down too far. Troy said hanging out on the back porch with the dogs and wife. Nice. Awesome. Lizzie said her mom's birthday is this Wednesday. Happy birthday to Lizzie's mom.
Yeah.
Howard Pierpont, our buddy Howard Pierpont, joining us, 73, mostly cloudy in Mineola, Texas. If you haven't checked it out, we've had Howard on the podcast a couple times now. He's such a joy to be around. So many cool stories and great information. Go check it out. We have those
wealth
on
of
YouTube.
Knowledge and info.
Jim Pollen, hello everyone from Hobo's Hot Rod Garage, Horseheads, New York, custom bead rolling.
New legend.
Jim has been busy. I'm surprised he even has time to tune in tonight. He's been doing some really cool things for lots of people He's
really kicking butt over there
in the car community.
So awesome. And on his projects looking great.
I know it. Draco said it is 73 inside in Columbus. Howard said Cartoons Magazine Automotive Humor is running a special. Check their website and see that number 50 is Johnny and Ian.
Oh, nice.
Did you see anything having to do with that?
No.
Oh, we'll have to check it out. Thank you for the heads up. Lizzie is
Soup Dupe.
Lizzie said tomorrow's her stepdaughter's birthday. Busy month in April for your family.
Man.
Shaggy LeBlanc, buddy Shaggy of the Michigan crew. We miss you. He said, me and Tony, we're here. Awesome.
What's up, Tony?
We miss you guys.
Shag, what's up?
Troy said, happy birthday. Sorry, I'm a little late. Mine was Saturday.
Hey, well, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you as well. We've got Frank Pupello joining us. Welcome, sir.
Welcome.
John McArdle, Jersey John with the 52 Dodge says hello.
Hey, what's up, man?
The buddy we met over at the
yeah, we were talking about your truck last Monday.
We were just talking about his truck last night.
We will be talking about it as part of the conversation.
What we do here again. We got Paul Marziani joining us from Bradenton. Welcome, Paul. We've got Brian and Lisa McCoy. These guys are so fantastic. We have been talking for years now about getting them back on the podcast. We did have them on a live we did once when Howard was visiting.
Mm-hmm.
So we've had them on one time, and I can't remember which year it was. It's been a couple of years. So we're going to get with them. It's been a minute. They have so much to share, guys. Go check out their page, Kuyang Customs. Go check it out on Facebook.
Maurice, Louisiana.
The real McCoys are here in a 65-degree Maurice, Louisiana at Kuyang Customs.
Sweet.
Guy Hodges joining us. Greetings from North Texas. Welcome, sir.
Guy Hodges.
Draco said dark enough purple is almost black sometimes. And I think that's maybe why I liked it. But it was a little lighter than
well, again, it was like a pearlescent. So when it hit the light, it was a little brighter, and then
it was an outside show.
Yeah,
we've got Cameron McNulty joining us. Hi, you too. Blessings. Wes Immel joining us. Friendly greetings from the Vehicle City, Flint, Michigan. Is that the Vehicle City? I thought it was the water issue city.
Well,
isn't that Flint?
Wow, don't. Just rub that in there.
Was that a solo incident?
It was. I don't know if it was Flint.
Was it Flint?
It was Flint, but I don't know if it was Flint, Michigan.
Really?
Yeah.
The Aaron Brockovich thing?
Yeah, I don't think it was in Michigan.
Oh, is there another Flint?
Well, there are other places.
Maybe it's not Flint. Oh, okay.
It is Flint.
Well, I'm gonna refer to it as the Vehicle City. Having visited Michigan, I think the entire state is probably a vehicular
Detroit,
city.
Baby.
Yeah, Detroit. Did you see what they were doing in Detroit? Somebody posted something about the road that we were riding to get to Cobo Hall. On the right-hand side, they now have Detroit in big letters on the side of the highway. Yeah. Remember where they were doing that construction?
Yeah.
So how cool for Michigan. That's like how proud we were to have our little Newport Richie sign downtown.
Yeah. I mean, it's Detroit.
Yeah. It's a big deal.
It is
I didn't realize how big of a deal Detroit, Michigan was.
Well, now you do.
And now I do.
Tell your friends.
And the surrounding areas.
Tell your friends.
I am telling all my friends. George Bennett joining us. Hello from Hot Rods Motorcycle Awareness and Suicide Prevention Foundation, Milan, Michigan.
Milan, what's up?
Love it.
Michigan.
Thanks for joining us. Brian Neary joining us. I love 50s cars. Well, you were in the right place because that's what's happening here.
Well, it's not a 50s car.
Oh.
It's the vehicle you love, and you don't even know it's not in the 50s.
I don't know the year because we literally
60s,
just talked about it.
60s.
We have a 50s car, and we are lovers of 50s cars, though, Brian. So
right, but the C10 that you like, your favorite, is a 60s.
Okay, see,
well, 63 to 60, 65, really 66 is probably the one that you really like.
In any case, we were going to be belting it out here. So it is the C10.
It is the C10.
It's a Chevy C10. I love the square front end.
ity-B's. You know what's funny that you say that square, but there's some curves in it and rounds.
Not as round as the prior years.
The sexiest parts of the C10 are its round bits. If you look up towards the hood and the way it gently slopes down, that's a nice little curve. These little curves as you get into the which the grill is what you love. The grill is what you love.
The grill is my favorite part.
Right. If you really look close, next time we're gonna look closer, you'll see this body line that comes down. there's a nice little curve
Subtle.
right above the lights, and it's such a gorgeous stamping in the body. And then again, how it swoops up into the hood, and the hood's a very low profile looking hood with some really nice little touches in it too. And then if you look at the body itself, it still has some curvature in the side panels.
What I'm saying is, in comparison,
of course,
to the prior years that had
of course
the giant fenders, I am not a fan now.
You are, but
not for my personal taste.
Again,
I can enjoy the beauty of it.
You keep getting the Chevys and the Fords confused. I think you don't like the Fords as much as you like the Chevys.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is.
Because you remember, I sent ity-B some front end shots of trucks,
and I was like,
we were having a truck conversation.
There's my front end I want.
And I was like, that's a Ford.
It says Ford over it.
Like
I'm like, there's my Chevy grill.
That's F-150.
That's not it. Ronnie Ogas joining us.
What's
Hello,
up,
my
Ronnie?
peeps. Love you guys dearly, aka because my car is in the photo.
Yes.
Brian said, well, except 56 yellow wagons. Not a fan.
Okay.
Okay, we're not doing that tonight. Ronnie said Brian Neary is only watching because he's jealous that I have so much Johnny Jalopy Wood artwork.
Is that why the shots were fired about the yellow Chevy?
Probably. I didn't get the connection until Ronnie posted.
Yeah.
Clyde Hensley joining us from the Michigan gang as well. We miss you, Clyde.
Yeah.
Ronnie said, ban Brian Neary, aka Brian Bravo, from watching, and then he's laughing. Jim Palin, I really appreciate the kind words. Thank you very much. Well, you know what? Well deserved, Jim. You have been kicking butt. And we've watched you grow in such a huge way, and I'm so glad that your talent is being recognized. I tell Johnny this all the time about himself too. I'm so glad that people are seeing what you're doing and it's out there on a broader scale, and
yes,
you're being celebrated.
And listen, we're very grateful that we were fortunate enough to be one of your. I don't know if we're one of your first,
but we got one.
It feels like in the beginnings of, you kind of getting your name out there, and you did a really awesome metal panel for us. And then the cool stuff you did for Kona, which I still got to get in there, it well deserved, because again, even as a guy trying to do his business, that you still are showing kindness and being humble as you grow. So our favorite people are generally that way.
Yes, indeed. Wes Immel said, "Man, I'll email you about the Flint thing." Yes. Educate me, because you know me. Well, if you do know me, you know I am geographically challenged.
Yes.
And history challenged.
Sometimes.
Howard said, I'm moving in early May and opening the Stonebridge studio so we can do multi-point broadcast. What?
Wow.
Yeah. That would be awesome. Keep in touch. Jay Newby's joining us also from the Michigan gang. Hey, Jay. Good to hear from you. We miss you guys. Yeah. We've got Joe Lombardo, hello, from Jersey.
What's up?
And Chris Smolinski joining us. Hello, peeps.
Hello.
So let's get caught up here.
People?
Yep, that is it. We're caught up on comments for now. Let me get over to your screen so they can see what we're doing. So
let me finish that and then back it out.
Okay. Back it out. Oh, Detroit Rug Company just popping on. Good evening. Hope all is well down there.
Once again, my rug dealer has showed up.
Right. Our rug right here. I don't know if you can see it. It's a JJ.
Beautiful work by our buddy
Nick Crawford
over at Detroit Rug Company.
We've got Scott Ferguson popping in. Hey,
what's
y'all.
up, Fergie Goss?
From Ferg's Rod Shop.
Yeah. So there you go. C10 is is ity-B's
one of my favorite trucks.
That is again the one that you talk the most about, look at and send me pictures of and go, oh, love it is the C10.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, I want you to start thinking about I've got it lowered. I would assume you would want it lowered.
Yes, I would.
Okay. Wheels and tires.
I don't know the names of them,
but so you've seen ones with the big billet wheels and the really thin tires.
I don't like the spokes.
And then you've seen them like what I've drawn in here is like just a real just a standard stock Chevy wheel with a white wall, because I
love the white walls.
It's 60s enough to where white walls would work with it. You could do thin white walls on this and it would look great too.
No, but do you know my color scheme? Because
I don't. That's okay. What we're gonna get to.
So let me look up a 1966 Chevy
or 65 would be
truck.
Good. C10.
Oh, Chevy has to be the C10.
You don't know, because there's C20s. There's
see, learning. Oh, But see, these grills are different
than what I have.
Than what I showed you. Yeah.
Yeah, because that's a Chevy grill, not a Ford grill.
Oh, so so this is a custom.
This is a Chevy grill.
You're saying that these are not Chevy grills?
Those are Chevy grills. You showed me a Ford grill.
Right. So this is going to be custom then, because we're putting a different grill on a Chevy.
Right now I'm putting a Chevy grill on it because I think that grill is awesome. But if you want a different grill,
the Ford grill that I showed you that I like, the straight.
Are you talking about inside here?
Yes.
We can do that.
What are you talking about? I'm confused.
I'm talking about, you showed me an F-150.
Are you looking at that?
Yeah. That's what that is.
See, and I don't like that grill. I like...
Well, then what are you talking about?
I'm going to show you the grill that I like, which is what I showed you.
Which is, I'm going to tell you, no billet.
Which is this. And it's a Ford grill.
Yucky, good gucky.
Why?
That's
it's
gross.
Just, no.
I'll do it that way, though. I'll do it. I'm still going to keep Chevy, but I will do what we'll say you had a custom grill made for it. I will do it that way.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, because I don't know. That's what I like.
I know.
That's what I see. And I don't like these wheels.
Right.
With the spindly look. Not a fan of the spindles.
Spindly look.
And I think these, I don't even really like these. See, and that's the hard part, because I don't know the names of all the stuff. Like I can't look at.
All you gotta do is look at the wheel and go.
I can't look at the grill.
That's why you gotta
and say, "Oh, that's from this."
This is why it is important when you're going through Instagram and you're doing all your things you like to do, or you're looking at car pictures. You need to point out and go, "Babe, those are my rims," and then I'll go screenshot it, so we know that's what you're looking for. That's what I do when I see something I like. I take a snapshot of it and I go, okay, I like that.
And my favorite color scheme, red and white.
Red and white.
Yes.
Okay. Like
a bright red with the white stripe.
White stripe.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
What? I'll have to find it. I just think the red and white looks so clean.
Red and white
with the black wheels.
Sure.
Let me see if I can find.
And again, this is your design, so
and white.
We'll do a slat style Chevy grill. We're gonna make you a custom grill.
Okay. I do like the sound of that.
But that Chevy shape is the iconic part of it. But we will make, instead of having the little grooves, we will make it with a more of a slat type grill, and we'll see if it works. And you may see it and go,
I don't like it.
That don't work.
All right. So it's basically, I'm trying to find, it's basically like this.
Okay.
Red with the subtle white stripe.
You want that chrome. So what year is that?
60. This one says 1960 to 1966, so it doesn't say specifically.
Because there are specific.
But the rest of these
trim packages, that's just a custom chrome strip, which
that says 66.
Right. So I don't have that chrome strip drawn in, but I can add that in there.
But I don't want it chrome. I'd want it white.
Well, that's just it. It's chrome with a white insert. And
I'm not really a fan of the red rims.
Yeah, that's too much red.
Red rim.
Well, you see it you do see it with the skinny white walls.
I do, and I don't mind the skinnies, but
I think these look really cool with the wide whites.
Yeah, that's probably what I'd want.
Yeah.
So if I was going to do it, that's what I'd want. A red and white.
Good choice, because so you're going more kind of a traditional, just a subtle custom.
Yeah.
You're not going over the top.
And I like the red interior that are the little sewn diamonds. What do you call that? Jacquard.
What
is it?
What? You making words up?
No, jacquard fabric.
Jacquard?
It's not jacquard.
You're a jacquard.
No.
You're a jacquard ass.
What is the name of the diamond imprint in upholstery? It's called diamond tufting. That's not even it either. It's stitched. Does anybody know? If BDC Garage was on here and Alicia Allen was on, she'd be able to tell me because she does this. It's sewn in little diamonds. And I can't remember the name of it.
Well, I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about, though.
Yeah, it's a diamond pattern.
Yeah. Yeah. And that would be, and I'd want it red with white stitching.
You'd want a red seat, white stitching with diamonds.
Yes. On the back. And then on the seat part, just your long stitches. Red seat with white stitching, but the long, and then have like the middle piece be white, like a section of white in the middle.
Okay.
Is what I want. I don't know. That's just me. We've got Draco said this is like Abbott and Costello who's on First Dish.
Right.
Yeah. David West joining us all the way from Arizona with the cutest dog. His dog's not with him. I just know him because of his dog. John Dyer, what's up, guys? Tuning in from YouTube. Welcome.
So we're getting the bone burger on in here.
Jay Newby said, just so you guys know, my granddaughter won on the candy boxes.
Oh, nice.
Of course she did. You were selling them at Autorama and everybody and their brother was buying them. So that's awesome. Good for her.
At least there was purchases done. I was worried that.
Oh, and it got eaten. All the candy got eaten. Yeah. James Wilson said this drawing is like a marriage. Just make her happy, Johnny.
That's right.
Gavin Little's joining us. Hi, guys. I'm listening and watching while working on my first cutting board project.
Nice.
Oh, I also hit a personal goal today. Since my amputation back in 2020, I did my first day back in the workforce at a part-time job. Gavin, that is amazing.
Man. That's great.
Very cool. High five to you.
Congrats.
And
that's progress, my friend.
Way to keep moving forward and not letting things set you back.
Progress.
Chuck Baldwin said diamond tucked. Okay.
Yeah, when there's those that are just giving up and finding reasons why not, you're finding reasons too. So
right. Inspirational.
Keep being a doer, man.
He also said, I love the C10 trucks, but everyone seems to gravitate towards a 65 and a 66. So to be different, I want a 60 C10 long box. Oh, and that's the thing too for the bed. Do not like the long beds whatsoever.
That's the hard part, and that's what he's saying.
Right.
Give me the long bed.
I know,
and I get it because they're a little easier to probably get.
Probably cheaper for sure.
Not cheaper, but they're easier to. There's more of those where you can find them now.
No,
definitely, it's no cheaper.
You don't think so?
No.
If they're not in high demand, they wouldn't be cheaper.
Trust me, it's not cheaper.
Well, none of them are cheap. No truck is cheap.
All right, me lady.
Right. There it is.
Getting there. I'm just going to do this last parking light here.
Okay. We need the parking lights. Mama's got to have lights. Are you seriously consider getting one of these and having this be the project?
What about it?
Really?
Yeah.
And then I'd be able to drive it?
Well, you drive any of the other stuff, but
But I mean, like if we were rolling out, well, I take the truck, you take Kona.
That's what I thought about.
Oh my God. I like literally just got chills.
Huh.
Can you imagine my own project?
Well,
can I be out there then helping?
You can be out there now.
That's true.
Trust me. Sometimes I could have used a hand.
You're like, where the hell have you been?
Oh, now you're out here because it's your shit.
Yeah, I definitely want to do it.
And again, I'm not making any promises because I'm not. So, but it'd be cool.
Well, you know what? After talking to Alicia Allen, again, I'm going to bring them up because her husband, Chris, did the body work on that car, and they won an award. They had it at Autorama, but she did the whole interior down to like the flooring, the rugs on the flooring, and the dash and seats, all of it, the interior of the doors and everything.
Yeah.
Beautiful job. And I'm like, you know what? I could probably sew. I mean, it's probably taken her forever to master it, and I know it would take some time, but how cool would it be?
Oh, sure.
To have that as a skill set.
It is a skill set.
I would love to do that.
Because not everybody likes doing that stuff. It's one of those where it's not, I'm not saying it's not a sought after thing, but it's one of those things. It's a very specialized. Not everybody wants to do upholstery.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, usually, I mean, I don't know. I'm speaking for just some of the people that I know.
Then there are those who that's their favorite part, which is, okay, now I'm going to geek out on the interior,
I've watched some of the car shows with you. I mean, including Ian's show.
Yeah.
And he's always like, okay, we're sending the seats out to blah, blah, blah. And they're doing that, like that's not something that a lot of fabricators do in-house or do on their own.
Because again, it's a skill set, just like somebody who does car audio stuff. There's a skill set to it, knowing how to do it the right way. And there are people that know how to do upholstery the right way. There's bad upholstery out there.
Oh yeah, I'm sure
you've seen it.
I've been a part of it. I did the seats. I covered the seats. They weren't even upholstery, but I couldn't even cover the seats in Raquel.
Take the upholstery job you did for the house. It was not easy. Like, you started to tear them apart, and we're like, in your thought, you were like, oh, this is going to be pretty simple. I'll just take off the other fabric. And I
literally had a paper staple remover.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Thought I was going to be able to pull out upholstery staples.
As I'm talking to him, like, what tools did you get? Oh, I don't know. I don't know what tools do I even need. And I'm like, did you watch any videos on how to do it? No. How hard can it be?
It was hard.
And like within 10 minutes, you were like, this is really hard. And then it took you the rest of the day. I mean, you got it done, and we found a cheat code,
a workaround.
But the reality is that something that you thought would be so simple, just to pull a top of a chair, you're like, I didn't know how to take the chairs apart.
I didn't know how to take the chairs apart.
I didn't know I had to pull all. You didn't think there was 1,000 other staples that were in there before that, holding the other stuff on. Like, you're like, how am I going to get that out? And they were in there.
They were
probably done with a pneumatic machine. You just blowing them right into that stuff. And you were like over there with your little
my office staple
remover, and I'm like, that ain't gonna pull one of them staples out.
I think I developed carpal tunnel just from that project. Oh my god, yeah, I really got in over my head on that one. So good save on being able to
a little bit
cover over the crappy seats we had. But
that's so funny.
It was hilarious.
You're adorable.
Jim Pollen said ity-B custom bead rolled on the tailgate. Oh, right? Yes, I love it. I'll call you. We haven't even gotten the project.
Let's not even get our hopes up yet. First of all, as someone just stated, they are not an easy vehicle to find. So, but there's the first challenge. Is it's not.
I'd find it if I was looking.
Whatever.
I'd find one. Now, and affording it would be a different story.
And the money to buy it.
George said, always called the 1960s C10 Chevy the pterodactyl because of the little pointed design over the rear window.
Listen, that's my most favorite part of that truck. In fact, when I was doing Kona, I was trying to find the stampings or repair panels for that cool panel that goes over the rear of the rear window area, and even up the side. Nope, they don't make that.
Really?
They don't make it. They make a new roof. They make the channels for the back. They made just about every body panel. They don't make that body panel. At least I couldn't find it. So it's one of those things like, wow, you're gonna fabricate that. So that's when I started going, okay, how can I get that same look and do it in a different way?
And that's what I like about this one. This one's very subtle.
I'm still not done with that that wing thing either. There's some touches I want to do and add some strength and rigidity to it. There's a part of me too that as we're driving around, it's like a functioning spoiler, and there are times I'm like it's really messing with how the vehicle handles a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
You need a fin on it?
It is a fin.
I'm saying this way. Like a shark fin.
Something. Anyway. All right, there's ity-B's C10.
Wait, let me get back. There it is.
Okay.
Yes.
So you want down, I gotta finish the hood. Down the side, you want that chrome piece or no?
I want it white. It was not straight across. If you remember,
I know there's a little dangle down.
Yep.
So I need to see that again. But that's the chrome piece you want.
Yeah, here's basically that.
Yeah, it gets wider
It gets
about
wider,
here.
About a third of the way in on the door.
Yep. Okay,
and then now this one also has another piece along the bed.
Where?
This white piece.
That's not a white piece. That's a reflection of his paint.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No. That one, I don't like it though. So don't put that on.
That's the side of the bed. That's not a piece where he's trying to get, it's like a patina spot there.
Yeah, I don't like that. What was I just saying? Darn. Yeah, so I wouldn't want it chrome, I'd want it white. That's where the white comes in. Is that whole, if that's a chrome piece, then it would need to be.
So you want that whole piece white.
Yeah.
Okay, can do that.
And the rest of it red, and then the top white.
And the top white.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, let's.
And then there should be. I don't want a racing stripe on the hood, but I'd probably do pinstriping or something in white on the hood.
Right. Okay.
You don't have to do it.
Did you want me to make sure that the radio's tuned to a specific station on this drawing?
Maybe.
Yeah. Is there a specific sticker up on the glove?
You told me you wanted me to give you what I want.
On the glove box that you want me to design too. No, my name is stitched in the rear part of the dash.
Ooh, ity-B stitched in the seat. Gavin said, best part of a truck, you could always trailer Kona to events if you needed to.
That is the yes. Yeah.
Right. Joe Lombardo said, nice. Ron Cousino is joining us. Johnny, love your work.
Hey, thanks so much.
Gavin said you could always find someone willing to trade or work a deal for your 50s car that's in your driveway. Literally just talked to him about a trade last night. Yeah. And you said,
I don't think anybody would want to trade for it.
Nobody's going to trade for it. So we were talking about, let's go back to John's truck. Dodge. Yeah. So when we went to this local car show a couple of weeks ago, we were parked next to.
John took all the ugly out of that thing.
This guy John had what year was his truck?
I want to say 53, but correct me, John.
John, if you're on, it was a Dodge, and I don't know anything. I don't know what they're supposed to look like. I mean, a lot of these guys do so many different things to them. You would never, like we talked about Scott Ferguson's Dodge. You would never know it was a Dodge.
Pull up that grill again that you claim you want.
You sent it to me. Why would you send me Ford grills if
we were talking
had nothing
about
to do with?
We were discussing trucks in general.
Just that bottom left. So this guy's truck was just so well done. What were some of the things you remember that he changed on it? Do you remember? Because you said,
well, again, there wasn't any modification specifically to the body itself. It's the things he pulled off of it, the factory things he pulled off.
Okay.
So he added I want to say it's either a stainless steel or a billet grill in it. Mm-hmm. And again, knowing the year, so you could pull up what the original
what it's supposed to look like. Yeah,
you would see like, wow, that's a huge improvement in the look itself. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he took all the ugly things that Dodge had done to that truck and took them off, like the front bumper, for instance.
Yeah,
not it's such a big massive bumper. And he took that off, and it revealed this really cool, kind of like the front of the Chevy, this really cool molding that was around the factory grill area that you wouldn't see before because everything else was so taking your attention away from the coolness of it.
Isn't it weird that the car would be designed that way then with this cool element, but then let's throw something on it to distract you from the coolness underneath?
I don't think it was that it was purposely necessary. Remember that this is... So if we're going 50s, the amount of structural things they were adding to cars because of there's no airbags. They
Mhm.
weren't wearing seatbelts.
Right.
So a lot of the collision points trying to keep the car from being damaged in a wreck were bumpers.
Yeah.
Tied to the frame so that, you know, the frames were heavy steel so that when there was collision, you know, you didn't damage the whole car, even though eventually we found out that those were just giant murder weapons.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got our little chrome piece. We've added our Ford grill now,
Yes.
Chevy style. We'll fix that once we get to the chrome portions. Wheels. So we're going wide whites. What type of wheels are we going to do? Are you doing just regular steel wheels, or
if we're going to leave,
if you're going red, would you do in black?
I don't know, because we're going to have the chrome on the front.
What does that got to do with it?
I just feel like we need another chrome element. There's not going to be chrome anywhere else because we're doing the white down the side.
You could do chrome beauty rings on the outside, kind of like I have Kona, where it's the chrome ring and
with the black wheel.
Interior color is black.
I just know I don't want red on the wheels. I'm not a fan of.
I don't blame you
of that.
I don't.
I say I'm not a fan of it, but we're talking about doing that for Kona possibly.
What, red wheels?
No, matching the wheels to a body element.
They already do.
Well, we have copper wheels. She's not copper right now.
No, but it's a good goes with black.
It does.
Yep. I would never paint our car red, but
I'm not talking about red. I'm talking about matching.
I'm just saying,
like
in general,
if you have a blue truck, people do the blue wheels. I don't know. Just for me, that's just not.
I would never do a car red.
Oh, we've got Roth Custom Cars joining us on YouTube. Is this Charlie?
Charles.
Charlie Roth, maybe. He said black steel wheels with baby moons.
Or the dog dish style. Yeah.
Is that what the baby moons are?
No, they're.
Let me look it up.
Ish.
Let me see.
The dog dishes of the Chevy
baby moon
versus moons are different. Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Now
those are nice. So
let me ask you this: you said red. So is it shiny red, metallic red?
No, just your.
Is it flat red? Is it?
I like the flat red. Normally, I would do a flat color, and that's because of you. I've learned to love flat stuff because of you. But for this, it would be a bright, like I showed you, the bright red.
Okay.
And normally, I love patina. Wouldn't want to do it on this. I would want this to look
red
and white, very clean.
Red Rob.
That's what I would want.
Okay.
If you're asking,
I am asking.
If you're asking. Matt Williams said, "Good evening, guys. Cool truck. Been doing some work on my 72 Ford. Nice. Love hearing about the projects. I know I was talking to my dad earlier tonight. He was saying they were having some warmer weather up in Jersey. So it's probably getting to that time of year where people are like, it's safe to go outside and not freeze to death. So I would imagine more things are going to be going on.
We forget how that's the truth. Like, you know, we're so accustomed to like
where it's decent weather all year round.
Yeah, we're kind of enjoying the mild temperatures because we know
summer's coming
where we're still, it's warm. So our mild is like, ooh, can't wait to wear a sweatshirt.
Well, I'm starting to see, I think it was, there was a show going on in Michigan just this past weekend. Something was going on up there. So it's probably getting to be show season again for them up there where they're going to be out and about.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
We're going to see more weekend car show stuff going on around the country, I'm sure. So keep sharing that stuff with us. Post your car clubs and stuff like that. We want to know about everything that's going on. It only gives us more topics to talk about. It's possible, you know, we may invite somebody to come on and be a part of the broadcast once we get that figured out. So we definitely want to hear from you. Keep sharing. Nick, Detroit Rug Company, said it's definitely getting nice. Took the top and the doors off the Jeep. Oh, that's when you know. That's when you know. I was topless yesterday, actually, in the Jeep.
Guess I didn't get to see that part.
No, you did not.
I guess we don't share everything, do we?
How funny. So Hank Dutton, our web designer extraordinaire and our reliable source for all things we need web related. He had told us a couple of years ago, he thought it would be a great idea for us to revisit some of our older Sketchy live broadcasts.
Yeah, we might be doing that
and
next week.
Watch it live with you guys and talk about it. Like pause as we go through. Because honestly, back then we were probably, were we an hour or did we go over then? We may have gone over then.
It's hard telling.
Some of them are long. Some of them are long. But I think it would be neat to show you a few
where we've come from,
where, you know, where it started and where we are now, and just some of the topics discussed and silly things we were working through. And, you know, just
the vast amount of knowledge you now have.
I don't know if it's vast. I
was trying to be kind.
Still butchering names and geographical locations, but we just thought it would be fun because, I mean, I don't think any of you, I mean, other than Hank, because he's made it his job to do so, I don't know if any of you have watched every single episode, or even know, you know, some of you don't even know how long we've been doing this. This is our 7th season. So it's been a hot minute that we've been doing this, and it's really come a long way. So I think it would be interesting to go through and see, you know, where it all started and share that with you guys, so you don't have to go look it up on your own. But it is available because on the website over at johnnyjalopy.com, we do have Hank. Excuse me. Hank has made it available to click on not only the finished art that we did that night, but then to go back to the episode and watch it live.
It was fun.
We started with no cameras other than the camera on your art pad.
Yeah.
So Johnny and I really weren't in the video at all until the very end. You would take the camera and switch it to us, and then I would have my arm around him and it'd be like, "Hey guys, thanks for joining us." We did our little sign off.
Right.
And then
sometimes she would have underpants on. Sometimes
oh my God, there was one episode.
She'd have her undies from down undies.
We didn't have the kids living at home, and it was just the two of us, and we would call it underwear days, where it was really just me. You would still wear underwear.
Yeah, I wasn't complaining.
Or you'd still wear your pants, but I was just walking around in you know, panties and a tank top, and here we are doing the episode, and I'm thinking, why do I have to get dressed? No one's here.
Right. What do I have?
We're not on video. And I happen to be walking behind you as you flip the camera back, and you just see me walking past. Yeah. I'm like, oh my God.
Full moon. You thought you saw the eclipse last April 8th. Boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
Chicken gumbo.
It's not good, guys. It's not good. Let me zoom in on what you're doing here. So anyway, that may be to come. That'll be something a little different. You'll get to see some drawing though.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go through and pick one that we think we'll have quite a bit to talk about or go through. I love this so far, by the way.
Well, we're getting there. I gotta just trying to get the.
Have you saved it?
Yeah. I'm gonna do it one more time though.
FYI, I'm gonna be buying this print from you.
Cool.
These will be available, guys.
$20.
ItyB's vision here.
This is ItyB's vision.
It will be $20. This color is going to be insane.
Her vision quest.
It's already almost 10:30 though. It's been an hour.
Okay, we're all right.
We started a few minutes late though, so
we did.
Sorry, that's on us.
Yeah, and listen, I don't think anybody's complaining. So we might go a little long. So
likes and loves, guys, if you're digging this, and please, if you have not already. Even if you don't ever watch us on YouTube, please like and subscribe over there.
We could really use the.
Yeah. I like to go on YouTube and just play our stuff back and then like walk away and do laundry or something. Just so we get some airtime and some playtime.
Really cheat that algorithm bullshit.
One day we'll be like the big guys.
You don't like that algorithm.
Nick said it's definitely getting nice. Took the top and the door. Oh, I already read that.
Yeah. Why don't you read something a little?
Sorry. All right.
Oh, we're getting into it here. Hold on.
Ooh, sepia. You got a little blurry. Hopefully this will.
I did?
Yeah. That's okay. Let it catch up with itself for a second. Looks a little bit better now. Okay. Yeah, still dealing with we finally got the audio all squared away with our videos, and if you watch the progression of Sketchy Live and how this has gone down, it has been one thing after another.
Yeah.
We're back to now having camera issues. So we've already talked to my son about maybe building us a computer. So we have just a desktop computer that is strictly for this kind of stuff, so we can do all the multi cameras that we need and stuff like that. So we are constantly looking for ways to improve this. We've had many ideas, many people helping out, trying to help out, and we appreciate all of it. And we will get there. We will get there one day. And I don't know if you're noticing how Johnny's putting this color down. It looks very sloppy. He is not even trying to color in the lines. And I've always found that this was a really cool way of you doing this, because I've watched other artists and they do color in the lines. Like you specifically don't. You lay down the color and then you'll go back and erase what you don't need.
Yep.
And the reason for it, you said, was to get this brightness. Like I'm watching you go over it and it's just getting brighter and brighter and brighter.
Yep. And we're creating highlights and more natural fades to light colors.
So this is how you would use a colored pencil if you were going to draw. No,
this is airbrush.
Oh, is it? So this is more of an airbrush technique, which we expect to see from Johnny. He promised me that in the next month, and I'm hoping maybe he goes this week on maybe your day off, he promised me he's going to pull out his airbrush stuff, check and see what's needed, and see if we can get that going, because I think that would be a phenomenal Sketchy Live episode to watch you do that. You know, obviously you're going to have to get all your equipment and everything up and running, maybe do a couple test runs, but I think it would be really neat to have that be alive and have people watch you do it.
Yeah.
And see how it comes together. If you don't know the history with the two of us, I will share real quick. Some of you who've been watching already know all this, but the first element of art that I was able to witness from you was airbrush stuff. That's what you were doing. That's what you were into. And that's what you were kind of promoting about your art when I met you. And it was, I don't even think necessarily cars at that time. You were doing a lot of more like lowbrow stuff at that time, like the skull and crossbones and more monstery type stuff with it. I don't think you did any real car stuff for me initially.
No.
But it definitely gravitated to that. And you wound up setting up.
I was doing portrait, like cartoons, airbrush to people's cars on t-shirts.
Okay.
But you didn't want any car.
No.
But I knew you at the time you shared how you like motorcycles and stuff like that. And so I was like, oh, skull and crossbones, that kind of thing would work for you.
Yeah. And then eventually you did do some car stuff for me. I had some of those airbrush things too. And then you were selling that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So it really just, I didn't understand truly the talent that you had. I would go to the fair just like everybody else and watch people airbrushing, setting up their little booths or whatever and do airbrushing. And I thought, oh, this looks super easy. Didn't realize how difficult it was.
That seems to be a mantra for you. That seems super easy.
I know.
I'll just become a dentist. That seems pretty easy.
I can do it. I'll become an upholsterer. No. But I think because you made it look easy. You already had all your stuff set up. The one night when I went over to your house before.
Well, I still have had and still do but I taught myself how to do it. And I still have lots to learn, but it was definitely something that I had, worked hours and hours and hours learning how to do.
And I think it's time.
Yeah.
To get back to it. And I mean, like you just said, you're using, I didn't realize that this type of.
Well, the way I laid it down, I used an airbrush style
pen.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Just the way you lay your color though is.
Yeah. It's
airbrush.
And again, if you look, it's trying to create highlights.
Yeah.
That look a little more, natural.
And as you're erasing, it's it's picking up the highlights that were underneath, which is so cool. So this is all just digital art with the layering and all that.
Well, yeah. And I also laid down all my shadows first, and that's probably a little different than in the order of how, at least I've always done it, which is laid shadows first.
Right.
And I'm probably not laying them the best, the perfect way, how you're supposed to, kind of thing, but
that's what makes you different.
That's how I do it.
You just do what you do. We've got Uncle Larry joining us, Lawrence Crawford. Good night. Finally finished up from coming home from he said Bridget, but then replaced it with Mackinac Bridge. Glad to see you all. Lovely looking truck.
Hey, man, thanks for sharing those photos of your little time out with the family this weekend.
Yes.
It was cool to see. Beautiful area. But
yeah, when we were at Autorama, he was telling me about all the little upcoming trips he was going to be going on. So I'm glad he got to do it.
Keep talking, babe.
I know. I'm just watching what you're doing because I'm intrigued now. So I'm still watching the erasing. I don't know if you guys can see this.
Yeah, we're trying to get rid of all the reds now.
Yes. All of the overspray, if you will.
Yeah.
It's basically what it is.
It allows me, rather than trying to specifically put it in a line, right? And then I'm layering color on top of color. And I'm not getting the flow all the way down the side of the vehicle the same shade.
I don't know of anybody else who does it this way. Do you? I mean, you watch a ton of these videos and stuff and tutorials. Have you ever seen anybody do it this way? I've never seen anybody do it this way.
So that's how I do it.
I know. I know.
It's the way I've done it since the beginning, which is it just works for me, because I tried doing where I would color like you're coloring in a coloring book, right? And the first time I tried this, which was, let me just lay the color down so I can fade how, natural light's going to hit a specific spot and start building color that way, starting with because I'm dropping the opacity down to like 20-30%, and I'm layering 30% color each time I'm putting on top of the next color, and it allows you to manipulate. So there's you can see some darks into lights, into darks into lights, where in a solid, I'd be layering. I'd have to like take a half shade down, and then I may not get it right. So then I can't erase that unless I do a different layer. I don't know. It's how I do it. It's probably not the best way to do it, but I mean, look at how we've got, reflection.
So good.
It's reflections right now that I didn't have to make look like reflections yet.
Right.
And I'm going to utilize those as points when I start adding whites in, or the highlight colors, that these are areas I can enhance that already have light tone red, versus me fighting to get a different color on there.
It's crazy.
Anyways, my color theory.
Little tutorial there, guys.
I guess.
Hope you loved it.
Yeah. So now I'm going to switch away from the airbrush, and I'm going to go to a standard, which would be like a marker type thing, because you want white.
Yes, white.
In the top.
The other thing that you did for only a little bit of time was the pinstriping. And
still haven't. Yeah.
There was no surface safe from you at this time. Anything that you could find where you're like, ooh, that would pull a stripe good.
Now,
you would.
The side pieces, do you want those white as well?
No, I think those stay red. I think it's just the top.
Okay.
Right? Isn't that how people normally do it?
This is your card. Doesn't matter how people do it.
I think I would want to keep them red and just have the top white. Just that subtle hint of white, because we're going to have the white stripe. I think it's going to be too much if we do the sides. But I'd love to see you get back into doing that too. Once we do the color scheme on Kona. So let's talk about that real quick, because we talked about a couple different things this past weekend, and right now the wheels are kind of a rust coppery looking color.
They're kind of copperish, but not like a full. They're more copper than brass.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're thinking about keeping them that color. We talked about that.
I'm gonna keep them because I really like the play of that color
with the black. So you're keeping Kona black.
Yes.
And
yes.
Okay.
And no. because in saying that I like that accent color of that copper, I've decided, and I've already ordered my some pinstriping tape because I plan to try to do like a panel style paint job on it without doing it with a paint gun.
Oh boy. Okay.
So I'm gonna do that. And it's gonna have like a faded in coppery panels.
Nice.
With some pinstriped shapes in there. You know, I haven't decided how I'm gonna do that part yet, but that's the plan.
This is the part I've been waiting for. Like, you're doing all this customization stuff, but I was like, when do we get to play with the things that I can help with, you know? Right. So I remember when we did the roof with we had like a spider web lace we picked up from Joann's, and we did the roof on Raquel that way, and I was able to help with that. Yep. And it was fun. Yeah. It was neat.
You did a great job.
I thought it came out great.
Yeah. Okay, so there's our white top with our red.
Love it. Look at this, guys. Okay. Now we got to get that white side line in. I didn't realize it was chrome. So it's a chrome piece you're saying that they paint white?
This is chrome, and then there's an insert that usually goes in this area that's white.
Okay.
But we're gonna make it white.
I love it. Wiley Vincent joining us from YouTube. Excuse me. Hello from San Jose, California. Welcome.
What's going on?
Matt Williams said, I don't know if you saw where I posted a pic of that pedal fire truck I bought this weekend. My plan is to try to fix it up and paint it to match my Ford.
Nice.
Very cool. I didn't see it. I'll have to go back and look. Look at that. Oh gosh. Right?
Yeah.
I love it. And you haven't even done the wheels yet. It's going to look so much better when the wheels are in.
Well, and again, you're saying black wheels.
Yeah, black wheels, and you said to do the thin white.
We're gonna think we should go fat white walls.
Oh, you think fat? Okay, I'll do fat.
Okay.
And I never really considered that before either. That was something that I learned as well.
So we're
about the white walls.
Well, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make our white walls. They're not brand new.
So a little yellowed.
Little discolorization in them.
Still looks white in comparison.
Sure.
Yeah, that's gonna look nice. God, to think that this could be a reality. Like, I would sell my Jeep.
Well, sell your Jeep then.
And then get something like this. Can you imagine?
Great.
Can you imagine me rolling around with this? She'd win awards.
She'd win awards.
She'd win awards. All of them. Give me all the awards.
But you're not doing it for the awards.
I'm not. It's nice,
do it
though.
for the applause.
Yeah. God, that would be like a dream come true.
Well, you can.
So I was telling you.
You have a job.
I know. The reason why I love trucks is because when I was little.
Yeah. Why is the passion for trucks?
My dad worked construction the majority of his life. My young life, that's all I remember, is my dad driving a truck, coming home in his work boots, and he always did stuff around the house. He was always dirty from being out there and working hard. That's what I remember.
Doing man stuff.
And what did I tell you?
That? Is that
when I met you and you were out there tinkering with cars?
I remember what you said. You said, you're not my dad.
No, I said I loved the fact that you were able to get dirty, but I also loved the fact that, you know, when the weekend was over and you were back to work, that you were going to work and in like, you know, dress pants and a button-down shirt or your polo.
That's the part I didn't like.
Yeah, that's the part you didn't like. But I like the fact that you could dress up, and you do dress up now.
Yeah,
somewhat. When we go out places or when we go to fellowship, you do dress nice. But my dad used to have a pickup truck. He always had a pickup truck. And I learned very early on the pros and cons of having a pickup truck.
Which is what?
Which was if you needed something moved, it was handy. You could go and pick up, you know, my dad used to pick up stuff for the house and bring that home, or he would, you know, grocery shop and go into Home Depot, whatever he was doing, it was in the back of that pickup truck. And then the bad part was
everybody
used in the back of your pickup truck. I can remember him driving around with us in the back of the pickup truck, all of us kids thrown in the back of the pickup truck. Nobody said anything back then. And for years,
that was normal.
For years, it's been an issue. And now that we live here in Florida, I can't even tell you how many times I see it. Like out on major highway, Highway 19, people in the back of a pickup truck.
Sure.
Nobody's saying crap to these people now.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I think because I grew up with it, it was something familiar to have a pickup truck.
Right. And
then when I first got married, we had sports car type stuff. We never had any functional vehicles until my 94 Ford Escort wagon. That was my utility vehicle.
Oh, you weren't talking about me.
No, no, God, no. We've had cool cars since I've known you. Cooler cars. But my first, I guess it was the boyfriend that I had after that, had a Dodge Ram, loved his truck. Right. And then I met you.
And then because you were like, that guy drives a Dodge Stratus.
Yeah. And then you had a Ford Ranger when I first met you.
Yeah, not a fan of it, but it was my dad's.
It was your dad's.
He gave it to me as something to drive.
And ever since then, you've had a truck.
No, I had a Jeep.
Well, you also had the Jeep.
Yeah.
But you had the truck at the same time you had the Jeep.
That's true.
So I don't know. To me, a truck is a very manly car.
You like a manly man.
And then you'd be like, well, then why would you want one? Well, because look at it. Right?
Yeah.
Who wouldn't drive this? I mean, does anybody on here think this is ugly? Like, I think it's such a beautiful car. I love it. And I like the girl choice. You're not liking the girl choice?
Yeah, I mean,
I like it.
Close to it, I guess.
It's what?
Yeah.
Close to it?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's fine. It's your truck.
I know. I love it. Frank Pupello said it's really looking good. Thank you. We're at about an hour and 11
We're
minutes.
I'm not worried about the time.
All right.
But we're doing your vehicle.
Lizzie said, no, it is a cool truck. Thank you, Lizzie, for saying that. She would drive it.
Yeah.
I'm sure she would drive it.
We're in this to do this. So
I know. We're in it to win it. So that's why I like trucks. I mean, are you partial to trucks? You seem to be gravitating towards trucks.
I like trucks.
Were you getting them for functionality, or do you like the fact that
I like lowered trucks.
Lowered?
Come from the mini trucking days.
That's true. We did talk about that a few weeks ago.
So I'm all about it. Low to the ground.
Yeah, low trucks, but yet yours is lifted now.
Because it's a Jeep.
And all the trucks you've wanted lifted.
Because it's a Jeep. Well, because I got a 4-wheel drive.
Oh, okay. So that's why.
This is not a 4-wheel drive.
Right.
If it's not a 4-wheel drive, then drop that thing on the ground. Is my opinion.
Yeah, it just looks nice. Lizzie said Randy had a few pickup trucks. Nice. Yeah, they are handy. They are functional.
Handy.
But they just look so cool as well. I mean, I kind of liked the wooden truck bed fence around. Well, it kind of looks like a fence. I like that kind of truck bed in some of the older trucks, like the 30s trucks and stuff that we looked at. Mm-hmm. Some of them have that. I think that's
Stake
cool.
bed is what you're talking about?
Is that what it's called? Yeah. I don't know what it's called. I don't know all the technical terms. I've seen them around, but I don't know what the technical terms are. Frank said, how about a small Mr. Horsepower decal on the lower fender? I don't know how detailed we're getting with this right now. But yeah, there would definitely be stickers inside for sure. I don't know how many I'd put outside. See, and that's the funny part, because a couple of years ago, had you asked me, it would have been very rat roddy. But like you,
your taste changed.
My taste has changed a little bit. Yeah, and I think if I could afford a $30,000 paint job, I would get the $30,000 paint job. But I'd still be driving it. I wouldn't be trailering it. I'd be driving it to shows. I would be out in the rain with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd use it. Wiley said, I used to have a 64 Chevy Fleet Side long bed. Then I found out I was going to be a dad and I sold it.
Yeah. Well, that stuff happens, and that's okay.
I do think so. For a lot of guys, I think that's the case.
That's called just being responsible.
It is. You know, how many guys have sold their toys? I have a client of mine, I was sharing with you, my client, Brian, who, when I first met him, before he was married several years ago, this guy's got a ton of money, and he had.
I'm sure he wants everybody to know.
He don't know. Nobody knows who he is. He probably had like 16 cars I insured. I mean, we're talking. He got that GTO. I mean, we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars of cars.
Right.
And he's down to like 3 cars now. Sold everything. Sold all the motorcycles.
But they're still very expensive.
They're still very expensive cars.
Doesn't really count.
It doesn't, but he, he's married now, has 2 kids, and
he's married. That's good.
Yeah, and
stop calling you.
Oh my gosh! And his wife was just like,
"Just kidding.
We need you around. You can't have all these fast cars." So yeah, it happens. Responsibility sets in.
Yeah.
And then you live your life, you raise your kids, and then you retire, and then you're right back to it.
That's right. Get it again.
Ron Sedlak joining us talking about cool trucks.
Yeah.
Right? This is one of the coolest. I just picked up a new truck, he said. Of course you did, Ron.
Good for you,
can't wait
brother.
to see it. This guy, Ron Sedlak, actually did some of our stickers for us, and we have to get him the artwork for the other one. Ron, we will be in touch tomorrow. Johnny will message you that artwork because we need some more stickers made.
We do.
But yeah, phenomenal stuff put out by his company. And I excuse me, but I forget the name of the company itself. I just know it is Ron is our hookup for that cool stuff. So good. Maybe post the name of your company in here in case anybody needs some stickers and banners and stuff like that done. Matt Williams said, my uncle had a 65 Chevy when I was a kid. It was red and white. He handed it down to my cousin who ended up selling it. I wish I would have kept it to go along with my pickup, which has been in the family longer than I have. So the red and white.
All right. So red and white, and we're doing. We're gonna start doing the highlights and stuff.
Okay. Look at the wheels. Oh my
headlights.
God. Zoom
standard
in.
Headlights. We add some color to the headlights.
No, I think just standard would be fine.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. We have another celebrity on the broadcast tonight. Yeah? Bob Frizz.
What?
Bob Shaboom Frizz. I don't know if you guys saw the interview. And who was it that did it again? Motor. No.
It was. Find it.
I am gonna find it because it was so good. And I'll tell you, I feel a little spoiled because I'm listening to this interview and I'm thinking, I already know these stories.
I know that guy.
Because Bob has shared so much stuff with us. Oh my gosh, he is so cool. And let me pull him up. I want to see if I can find the name of it for you so you can go look at it. It is on, here it is. Refinish Media.
There it
is what it is. Yep. And I don't know if this is on YouTube.
What's going on?
Definitely go to Bob's page though, because it's over there. But Refinish Media did this really cool sit down with Bob, and he just shared so many cool things, and he's just a legend in the area and in the culture. Definitely in Michigan, but this guy tours across the United States and is at a ton of shit. He really has. And he's just like the sweetest guy. Yep. Love him to death.
He may not want to know, he may not want that.
He may want to be a badass.
That's
but,
right.
And I think,
and you're
believe
ruining
me,
it for him.
He's been nice to us. I will say that. But I think if we were to cross him,
I wouldn't want to do that.
I'd start digging my grave now. No, just kidding. We love you, Bob. Talking about podcasts, I do not know if you saw it or not, but
what's that?
What was the name of yours? Let me go to that.
I can't. I'm on my podcast.
No, it was the podcast that you were on. We just watched it together earlier.
The Motor Mania
Mania, and we watched it on YouTube, so it is over there. But this was the podcast that Johnny did while we were at Autorama last month. So go check that out as well. Likes and loves over there. I think they had, before you came on, they had Chip Foose was on.
Yep.
And
I
then
sat in the chair that Chip was in.
A few weeks prior to that, they had Little Daddy on there.
Staring at his autograph as I'm doing the interview.
Little Daddy Roth was on their podcast a couple weeks prior to that. I think you said at the Starbird show.
Yeah.
So they've been interviewing some really cool people, some heavy hitters in this culture.
Yeah.
So go
and
check
then they
it
had
out.
me on.
Yeah. And then there was Johnny. No. You were actually on with Thomas Destrada, which we got to meet in person for the first time at Autorama.
His name, Rob. Look it up. It's his last name is American Trucker Guy.
Yes.
Yeah. Super cool dude.
American Trucker
Guy.
Let me see. Rob and the Bear. It's Rob something. Oh my goodness. How is it not saying his name? Rob Mariani.
That's
Mariani. Cool stories though shared with them, and just their time in the culture as well. And Tom, an illustrator for Disney.
Yeah.
So he was sharing some cool stories about
so
that
much stuff he's done.
And then Johnny's over here. It cracks me up because he always plays down his talent. As we know, we watch him week after week do this. So he's on this podcast and they're all like, oh, I worked for Disney. And then, this other guy, oh, I've been on this show. And then Johnny's like, yeah, I draw cars.
No, they're like, I just finished the work on this movie and I finished the work on that. And I was like, I just finished a pizza out back.
Yeah. Silliness. My husband. So anyway, go check that out as well. So
yeah, it was cool.
Couple new things to see. So definitely check out that Bob Frizz interview. Really cool.
Yeah, that was really
and we hope to have Bob on the broadcast here too. Again, we're still working out some kinks with this programming stuff and our cameras and video, and I don't know. It just seems like a constant struggle. I can't wait till we have it all down.
Let me know.
Yeah. We're going to get it done though. And we will have the invites coming out. We had hoped to have it already at this point because 2024 was going to be the year of the guest, but we haven't quite done it yet. But we have had a couple guests already this year. So
yes, we have.
We've got Art Smith, close cut, joining us. Slick truck there, Mr. Art, you may have missed it. This is my truck. This is my truck.
Art's got a sick.
Art does have a sick truck.
C10. C10.
Is it a C10?
Yes.
Wow. I do love his truck.
Great story behind it. It was his dad's truck. He saved it from the family farm and it was like buried in a tree. And oh man. And he brought it back from more than just the dead. It is
beautiful.
It was such bad.
And
it was not recognizable.
We have a podcast. We have a podcast where he talks about it and shows pictures. So go. Oh, he said it's a C30. You're wrong.
I'm sorry. No.
You're wrong. That's okay.
What's the difference?
I don't know.
So you can't be over there.
I didn't even know there were other C's.
That's what I'm saying.
I thought it was just the C10. So what is the difference?
Candies?
So what is a C10 versus a C20, C2,
I think it's
C30?
The weight capacity, like F-150s are the 1 ton, 2 ton, 3 ton.
Art,
type thing.
Is that the case? Do you know? Lizzie said she loves the truck. Lizzie, I'm going to be driving this one day. Mark my words. Arkham. I don't know when it's going to happen, but guys, highlights are going in. The brim of your hat is blocking the view.
Okay. Thanks for telling me.
Mm-hmm. So see what he's doing here. He's just taking, now this would be what he would normally do with like a white marker paint pen type thing. What is it that you use? Your white?
Gel pen.
A gel pen. That's what he would do. He would normally do the drawing on tan paper. You watched him lay down the color. He probably would do that a little differently when he's drawing, just because he doesn't have that airbrush effect with the pens that he uses or the markers that he uses. But the highlights, this is definitely how he does it. How he remembers where to put everything, no clue. How he knows how to do the chrome and the different colors and the shading to make it look like chrome and shine, no clue. But he does it. Bob wants to know if he can come to Florida.
Please.
Bob, I have a room. I have a room for you. Let us host you like you hosted us.
Yeah.
Definitely come. We would love it. Frank Pupello said the chrome looks awesome. He's digging it. It is phenomenal. I don't know how you do it. It looks real to me. Like this looks like a photograph to me. So good.
Come on.
Come on, buddy. Yeah. Lizzie said, come over and get me, LOL. Art said 1 ton, so his is 1 ton. So that's just a greater weight capacity for what it could carry, or
assume,
it's the heaviness of the truck itself. I always thought it was the heaviness of the truck itself. 1 ton, quarter ton, half ton is the weight, like capacity, the GVW weight capacity, or the GVW.
I thought it was a weight capacity, hauling capability, or maybe it is
hauling capability. I don't know. Does anyone know? So you're talking like F-150, F-250, F-350, F-450. They have a 550 as well. And they just go up to like Super Duty. So you're saying that is what they're able to pull versus the actual weight of the car. I'm going to go with weight of the car, and I'll tell you why, because it gets to a certain weight of the car for insurance purposes where I have to insure it as a commercial vehicle, not a personal vehicle. And it goes by the gross vehicle weight, GVW. Right. So that's what I'm saying. Why are you asking? I don't know. I don't know. That's my guess. That's what I'm guessing. Does anybody know? Please educate us. Constantly learning over here.
ItyB's sick ass C10.
Guys, look at me. I love it. Art said, I tuned in late, so I'm going to rewind to the beginning to see if the Airbrush Studio argument was resolved from last week.
Oh, yes, Art, it was.
Actually, rewind all the way to the beginning because I believe there was an apology.
There was.
I love it. This is the vision.
Yeah, it's cool.
Right? Like we could park this out front. Yeah. No problem. And a lot of times, like I think my color choices for regular cars, I've tried to stay away from red because I was always told early on that the color red is a cop magnet. Have you heard this?
Yeah, of course.
I don't think it would be with this.
It would be.
You think so?
Come on. Female driving a sick ass.
Had I gone baby blue, you don't think I would have gotten pulled over?
Oh, you said red seats?
Yeah. Okay. Red seats with the diamond. What did he say? Diamond stitch. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to reach out to Alicia and find out what the name of that stitch is. Look at this, guys. Oh my goodness.
There's your truck.
Heck yeah. Can you see me in it? I can. With my little beanie. Right? Arm out the window like you're supposed to do. My Johnny Jalopy gear, or, well, I really can't wear the ity-B gear because that's a shotgun. And I'll be driving this one. I'm so excited. I'd be excited to have my own car. I know we never really talked about me having my own.
We have.
Well, I told you I didn't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable driving Kona. I can drive it. I have driven it for short bouts, but I don't like how hard it is to get it into gear. And I think I would panic if I couldn't get it into gear. I panic when you can't get it into gear when it's not going. It's sometimes
ridiculous.
Because then what do? You're like going 10 miles an hour around a turn and people are like passing you and beeping their horns. Bye. And they're like, you can't drive, No
one's ever said that.
Not to you. They would to me. So I get a little leery. I've driven Raquel several times. I drove Raquel home that one time.
Yeah.
From St. Pete area, or actually I think we were in Clearwater at that point, but I drove her home. I can maneuver it. It's just I don't like not having the power steering. It's the creature comforts that I like.
Sissy.
Yeah. Lizzie said you should have ity-B sign it. I see ity-B driving this truck. Yeah. So do I.
Well, there you go. There is ity-B's.
I love it.
Super cool.
Yes. C10 with a Ford grill. 66 C10 with a Ford grill.
Well, it's not a Ford grill.
You said it was.
It's a Ford styled
grill with a fake Chevy emblem or Chevy on it because it's not really a Chevy grill.
It's the same Chevy grill. All I did is I just took out the smaller hashes and made it bigger.
Okay. That's the kind of grill that I like, though. Guys, thank you so much tonight for joining us on this journey. And I'm glad we videoed this and we have photographic evidence of what's going to be parked in my driveway at some point. Art just said, when will it be in the driveway at the house? Yeah, at some point. Oh, he would crap his pants if he drove up one day to come visit and that truck was sitting in the front.
Well, especially that's Art's favorite vehicle as well.
Yeah. Or then we could go cruising together with our trucks.
Yeah, it's a cool combo. I mean, you made some good styling choices. I like the black wheels with the red and the white. I like the red and the white combos.
I do too.
Again, me personally, I would not want a shiny white. I would do a flat white if it was me, because you'd have the shiny red.
Yeah.
But
it could go either way. It could go either way. I love it.
Yeah.
Guys, there it is.
Well, there you go. There's ItyB's super cool custom C10. Keep an eye out. Maybe one day it'll happen for. Dreams can't happen. It's nothing like having now a dream and a vision of what you see in your mind as you're looking at stuff. You know, it's the same dilemma. You now will be looking. You watch. Here's what's going to happen now that you've put this out there. Everywhere we go, you're going to see these trucks and you're going to go, oh, why can't I have one?
I've kind of secretly been doing that anyway.
That's true.
So, yeah, that would be fun. It would be fun. But I'm going to get you to your goal first because we want to get Kona done. We'll
see what happens.
And technically, Kona's a truck now, so we do have a truck.
Truckish.
She's truckish. Super excited for that project to come together. I really want to see what you get done, and because I know that you're going to try to start hitting this hard on your days off again to get the rest of the panels done that Jim sent us. We got those louvers to install on the passenger side and in the back. We still have some window issues that we need to resolve for Kona. We're not going to be able to take this thing out in air until we have windows here in a couple more weeks, because we're just going to have rain every day.
Wah.
It's going to be rain every day.
I guess you won't be driving in it.
I'm not. I probably won't. So we want to get that done, and obviously the paint stuff done. We've got some airbrushing to do and get caught up on. Possible rearranging of studios and projects and space for you to do your art. So lots of stuff going on, lots of moves to make, lots of reorganization.
Yeah, and we talked about possible merch changes. So we maybe you see some revamps on the merchandise. Maybe trying to limit the amount of specific designs that we have, and then trying to go a little more multicolor t-shirt designs. So we're hoping to maybe kind of get that off the ground. Hopefully some new stickers will come and be coming as well. Lots of stuff. We got things in the works and plans and different things like that. But
and you know, we haven't done any sale type stuff.
We are definitely talkers about plans.
I know.
Plan a lot.
We do plan a lot. Yeah. Executing, different story.
Hard to do.
We've talked about, or I'm sorry, in the past we've done some like BOGO deals or 2-for-1 deals on prints, shirts, whatever. And with us clearing out some of the merch, that may be something that we do.
Maybe happens. We'll see.
So stay tuned. We always make that kind of stuff available to you guys first on Sketchy Live. We don't really have a place to put it on the website. So keep an eye out. Keep tuning in on Monday nights. We appreciate the support and, you know, all of you guys showing up for us.
Another Monday night in the books. ItyB's dream pickup just accomplished. We're so happy that you hung out with us. Thanks for hanging out. Johnny'sLobby.com. Hats, stickers, t-shirts, lots of cool stuff. We hope to see you again next Monday, when we'll probably be doing a podcast again, going over, probably watching with you.
Yes.
I hope you'll come hang out with us. Season episode 1, our very first Sketchy Live ever. Of course, it wasn't called Sketchy Live back then. It was Monster Mondays. But it would be really cool to watch it, hang out with us, watch us listen to I'm sure there's got to be at least one argument in there of the first time. Yeah. And then how bad the sound will be and all that stuff. It'll be great. But it's cool to see where we came from, right? A reminder. Yep. We've come so far.
We have.
All right. Hey, thanks again for hanging out with us. We'll see you again some next week, Monday.
Yeah.
And have a super week.
And until then,
please share with your friends. Sketchy Live. And until then, as always, stay sketchy.
Sketchy.
We'll see you guys soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.